everyone, and welcome to the C Show.
Hello, Internet! Hello, Internet!
Yeah,
I haven't been on an episode in a while, and this episode I have got lots of sneeziness, and this is why I will sound quite muted because I have bits of tissue in my nose. Hi.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the Sick Show.
Welcome to the Big Six Show, which I always am. So,
so
elimination,
the
by the way.
Elimination Chamber.
Everyone introduce themselves.
I'm
Wait,
your
you
Lord
did it.
Star.
This is Bob.
I am.
This is Bob. This is Bob.
Bleh.
This is Rocked and doing the one thing Lomder forgot to do. Hello, Internet.
Bleh.
I did it. I
Thought
just
that was a
shouted.
thing.
Okay. So what do you guys think of Elimination Chamber in general?
It started good, but then it crashed and burned.
Like 80% of it was good.
Roxanne?
Overall, it was a good pay-per-view. It's just, but then the ending completely just pretty much ruined everything. A lot of what it was like. It was like one of those things where everything's going well, and then the ending comes along, and you're like, "Fuck."
Whereas I liked the ending. So, arguments will be aplenty this episode, probably. So it's going to be one of those ones.
Yeah,
I just didn't like how they executed the ending.
yeah, same here.
Yes, well, let's start from the beginning, which is not the ending. I didn't watch the pre-show match. Did either of you watch it?
Unfortunately, this is not Memento. And yes, we did watch the pre-show, I think.
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
Rocktown?
I didn't watch the pre-show. I missed it.
And you lied to me, Ali. You lied.
You guys suck at your jobs.
This isn't my job. Jesus Christ. Do you know how poor I'd be if this is my job? Oh, wait, I am poor.
Honestly, I didn't want to watch this match because it featured Team Boring, as I like to refer to them. Ryback and Curtis Axel.
Yeah, Curtis Axel on his own. Great. Ryback on his own. Shit. Together they make a team of boringness.
They had a match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, that's
And weirdly here, Axel was accompanied by his grandpa, Larry the Axe.
Oh, right, that. He looked really sad.
I really wasn't. I thought for a second when I saw this in the replays that it might they were trying to pass that off as Dusty Rhodes for some reason.
Yeah, he
looks a lot
Larry-
like Dusty.
Yeah, Larry looks so much like Dusty in the replays.
Especially considering it was against Team Rhodes or whatever.
The Brotherhood, as it's called.
I was going to call them the Rhodes Brothers. The Brotherhood sounds stupid.
The Brotherhood sounds like something from the
Is
Attitude
Ryback
Era.
a face now? It was very weird that Curtis Axel brought his dad.
What I was going to say is I'm trying to remember the name of one of the good ideas that they had for the good team names that they had for Goldust and Cody.
The Rhodeses.
It sounds kind of awkward.
That's the point. It's funny. The Rhodeses.
I'm trying to remember what was Cody's gimmick again? What was the? Oh yeah, it was like dashing. That wasn't. That wouldn't work. I don't think.
Moving on.
I think it was like road. I think it was they called it something like road dust or something like that.
That sounds all sorts of wrong.
Code Dust?
Road dust.
Goldust would have been a better name.
I thought this one's not bad. The Golden Roads.
That can do it.
That was the one I thought of a while back.
To how do I put this? To Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. What?
Yeah, the yellow brick road.
The yellow brick roads. Yellow brick roads.
Oh my God! Wow. That's.
But yeah, moving on. What was the first match of the actual night?
That would be
Jack-
Jack's. Go ahead.
Jack Swagger versus Big E.
Yeah.
Who's now just Big E, and they've dropped
They
the
removed his
Langston
Langston, apparently.
That's stupid.
It's the same thing they did to Cesaro, where they removed Antonio for no apparent reason.
So if big is an adjective, is he just E?
Yes.
What his name is E. Okay, okay. We'll just call him E for now.
Well, I did find out the reason that he's called Big E is because his first and middle name both start with E, and they're unusual names that start with E. His name is like Ettore Ewan.
Ettore Ewan. Yeah, Ettore Ewan. That tells me his family is very ethnic.
Well, more sick than I thought. What did you guys think of the match?
This was good.
They
I thought
Yeah,
it
it was.
was. I just think that as an opening match, this wasn't the best one. For me, I would have probably put the Batista match as an opening match.
That's because we hate Batista.
It's because they can't put him just after the Shield match, and they can't put him after the Elimination Chamber match. If they put him somewhere in between, it's just weird. You know?
I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been a case of the Batista being being out first, then in the middle is the Shield, then in the end is the Elimination Chamber match.
I would have put him somewhere like between, say, the tag team match, like somewhere maybe like before or after the Derek Young Titus O'Neil match would have been a decent.
So would you have had the tag team match been the first match then?
Honestly, I would have placed it just before the Shield match, so the Shield match would cheer everyone up.
Yeah.
You just watch a shitty Batista match, watch this pretty bitchin' thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with putting it as the beginning is that's generally not a good idea when you're booking a pay-per-view. You want the first match to pump. You want the first match to be a good opener to get people invested.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
you
couldn't do that with the Shield match because it would be too good a match, you know?
Yeah.
It would ruin the whole night, like the Bray Wyatt Daniel Bryan match did for the Rumble.
Well, we did get some hype up before the Big E Swagger match. The Usos showed that they cannot speak in unison. That's your fucking fault, Usos. Learn to do that. You're twins.
Don't you have some sort of psychic connection or some shit?
We got two
Also-
words for you. It's over.
It's that's like 5 Usos, but you know, who's counting?
But yeah, and also Michael Cole said that the theme of this night is WrestleMania 30.
Isn't that what WrestleMania's theme is?
Yes.
WrestleMania's 30 theme is WrestleMania 31.
WrestleMania 30's theme is the Elimination Chamber.
I do want to mention that the Swagger versus Big E match did have a spot that got a holy shit chant.
Yeah.
Where Big E, Swagger was like hanging off the ropes, and then Big E like did sort of like a spear or tackled, and it not only sent Swagger flying out, but Big E went out with him, and they landed pretty hard.
Yeah. It was a passable first match. I just don't think I would have put that as my first match.
Jack Swagger's better than people think he is, and Biggie's always pretty good. Not like
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
just pretty good.
I just think if they're gonna have this match properly, they need to give them both more time.
Yeah, they kind of the matches get really fucking long at the end times.
Yeah.
And after the match, and for nearly every match except except the final matches, I believe,
And
We-
also
we
the
got-
Divas match.
we got another running theme of the night was like 4 different Bad News Barrett's spots.
Yes. Bad News Barrett was great in this.
Oh my god, I love Bad News Barrett.
Yeah. I especially
This is
loved
pretty
this
much
one.
the
I especially loved this one where it was like, if you all get the WWE network, yeah, because of all of the amazing content on it, you're all going to become homeless and fat.
I
That's
loved.
cool.
I thought it was funny when his podium broke and it wouldn't go up and down anymore, and he started like blaming it on the horrible Minneapolis electricians.
That was great. That was a good save.
yeah.
So what was the next match?
That would be the Usos versus the old age Outlaws.
Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
I kind of missed this. I kind of missed this match for some reason. I think it was.
It was a possible match. It was a decent tag team match.
Too bad it ended in a way that our old comrade Jingus would scream.
What do you mean?
Oh, a roll up.
Yep.
Yeah, it ended in a roll up, but at the same time, like at least it was the case of them being genuinely, you know.
I think it's what someone described it as is to put
Right.
is to make the Outlaws seem like crafty veterans by doing this.
I mean,
Yeah,
I know they're the Bronze Age Outlaws, but still.
The Bronze Age.
Well, I take it you guys aren't unhappy that the New Age Outlaws retained,
Nope.
because
Nope.
I just
I'm
think
not.
they need to actually use their own tag teams.
Yeah.
well, for me it's a case of they're using the New Age Outlaws to put the belts on someone young,
Hopefully.
but they're going to wait until WrestleMania to do that.
Honestly,
That could be the
one of the themes of this pay-per-view was status quo until WrestleMania, pretty much.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like even if the matches were good, nothing really changed. Because, everything's going to happen at Mania.
Yeah.
Welcome
If it
to
is-
every Elimination Chamber ever.
If
Fuck
it
off.
is
And that's
going
our and that's our comrade Skippy.
Surprise run-in once again.
And it's also a case of I think if it's a status quo thing, they're not selling people on the Mania, in my opinion, because like if everything's gonna happen at Mania, that might be too late. I mean, at this point, considering the reaction people are giving out now,
Yeah.
people are just so apathetic about this that
We will
let's-
get to
let's-
the apathy. We will get to the
Roxanne,
apathy.
I'm going to argue with you on this, but let's get to that when we get to it.
We will get
Yeah,
to
and
the
also, I have to say in the match, one of the Usos probably got injured.
Oh yeah, that turnbuckle spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much one of the Usos got like flipped into a turnbuckle, but he landed in a way that his thigh landed on the turnbuckle in the wrong way, and he just was screaming and just
It was either a really
Crashing
good
about.
shell drop or he may have hurt something there.
yeah, it was way too real for it to be selling, in my view.
Yeah. Well, either way, this was a good match. It ended in a roll-up, but they're trying to sell the New Age Outlaws as the wily old veterans. So that didn't bother
Like they're
me as
not
much.
they're not outperforming anybody. It's just their experience can trick people pretty much.
Yeah. That happened
Yeah.
a few times in the match as well, like in terms of they outsmarted the Usos by being, even it was even stuff like early in the match the Usos went for the usual outside dive spot, but the Outlaws just went just moved out, were out of the way before they managed to hit it.
Ah,
And
they pulled
also-
a Samoa Joe, huh?
No, they didn't. They didn't pull a Samoa Joe. It was a case of them just sort of stepping aside and going,
Oh, they're gonna
Oh,
do that.
okay.
Well, fuck that.
yeah.
And also, but then again, the New Age Outlaws don't seem to have the mindset to never headbutt a Samoan.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a bit of a
Always
problem,
made
and
it
that's
Go
that's
ahead.
gonna be a
The
bit
third
of a
theme
problem.
of this pay-per-view is not headbutting Samoans.
We'll get to more not headbutting Samoans in a bit, but first, Tyson O'Neill
yeah.
versus Darren.
The only Samoan you can headbutt and it works is The Rock.
Because he's half black.
Because he's
Samoan,
half black, and half blacks aren't as tough in the head.
Because
You have to.
because
That's a
because
big. If you have to be a full Samoan in order to be able to avoid getting headbutted.
because the blacks have floppy heads.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's terrible.
How?
By virtue of you saying it.
Exactly.
Just
You're-
because I
You're
say it doesn't
surprised
make it.
Nathan's offensive.
How was that offensive? I didn't.
Because you said it.
It wasn't anything about race or class or
I don't
gender
even
or
know what you
anything.
said.
I just said that black people have floppy heads. So come on.
So
The
how
throw,
is that
the
not
throw
offensive?
absorbed the blow.
Yeah,
Oh.
the throw absorb the blow. Remember? This is why they all have throws.
But, speaking of the throw absorbed the blow. Darren Young versus Titus O'Neill.
Oh,
Probably
The,
the first match.
the battle of Black Friends. Or
I'm sorry, I missed this one because I blinked.
That wasn't
Yeah, it was
that
also the first one that lost to. This was also the first match that started to lose the crowd.
So let me give you a brief story recap about Darren Young and Titus O'Neill's feud. They were friends, and now they're not.
That's pretty much it. They were friends, then they lost a match, and Titus O'Neill turned.
Titus
heel,
O'Neill
and now
got
we're
so
over.
mad he made a different rap song.
It's slightly dark.
And he was very angry and serious as he said, "Oya, oya, oya, oya."
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
He's still doing that.
He's a
even though
very
he's a heel.
serious seal, Nathan.
So, how long do you give Titus O'Neil and Darren Young as singles competitors
About a week.
before they start jobbing out to like 3MB?
About a week.
No one jobs out to free MB.
Okay.
All,
before
all
they
I
start
all I
coming
gotta
out to
say
see
is
Cara.
because of Minnesota reasons, there was Lesnar chants during the match. Because no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a
like I
shame
said,
because it was. Go
This
ahead.
was-
Sorry.
This was the first match that started to lose the crowd before. But then again, this was before the 3-person tag team match.
Tag, yeah. But,
Yeah.
it's a shame that it really lost the crowd because it wasn't a bad match.
Well,
Yeah,
It was.
The problem is you're not going to give the crowd anything to care about if you have such a rush storyline with no build up at all. Like yes, they haven't been winning matches, but they could have.
But they never
started
really
set-
showed any signs of tension until then.
Exactly.
And also,
Yeah,
they
there was
sort of
no
baked-
hints to them breaking up. They were just black friends, and then they weren't friends anymore.
Yeah, the problem is them having a bad badly done breakup story of a tag team, whilst at the same time booking a very good one.
Yeah, that's really weird. They have a really bad breakup with an amazing breakup. But
That's
yeah,
in
the
works.
match
Hasn't happened,
ends,
but-
and Titus O'Neil wins because Seal, then
But no, it's because Titus O'Neil has big muscles and they want to push him, but they couldn't whilst he
Of course.
was young.
Of course, at
But-
the same time, you have to wonder how much of a PR nightmare it's going to be if they bury Darren Young.
Because he's gay,
I-
isn't it?
Well,
Well, I'm just
speaking of
exactly.
the gayness, the whole thing sort of comes off. The whole reason why Titus O'Neil split off from Young is kind of homophobic.
he tried to
I
grab
won't,
my ass.
I won't lie.
He tried to-
Like,
how so,
that makes no
Lomber?
sense, Lomber.
Like,
No, Lomber, they broke up because they had a bad match. Not
Yeah,
because he's a
that's
faggot.
it.
There's a difference.
He had it was one
he
bad
said
match.
that he
it was,
didn't
it was
feel
one
like the
bad
winner
match.
around
By,
Young.
by the way,
Titus-
I'm the only one allowed to say that.
Hey, I'm allowed to
Except-
say it too.
Well, Nathan
No,
says it
you're
half the
not.
time. Nathan says it half
Nathan,
the time.
just because you say it doesn't mean you're allowed to. In fact, it just makes it more offensive when you say it.
No,
He had
no,
one
it's
bad
just the-
match. Titus O'Neil goes, "You're a loser."
Thanks for talking.
Darren Young goes, "Well, you bark like a seal. We don't like each other anymore.
We're
Fuck
not
off."
friends anymore. No more dancing. Even though it's just like, but I like the dancing.
But I like
Okay.
to go millions of dollars. There was millions of dollars in it.
It was millions of dollars. But
Yeah, man. Now
at
they
the
only,
end, at the
now
end
they
of
only
that,
get half of
then- at the end of the match, a very short match, by the way, Bad News Barrett shows up and reveals that his lip broke.
Yes.
Everybody's
Yep, and then
sad.
this is when his podium breaks.
Well,
To be honest,
he
though,
came up
that was
before-
before it broke. That was a glorious podium.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was so high.
Minnesota had to fucking suck.
It was almost as high as RVD.
So yeah, he rips on Minnesota, and then he talks about how awesome he is.
Yeah, it's like, it's honestly, it's kind of hilarious because Bad News Barrett is literally just cheap heel heat, the gimmick, you know.
Well,
But he
and
does it
also
so
troll
well.
face. It's also troll face, the gimmick. You
Yeah.
think about it.
Well,
There is one thing I'm missing. There is one thing that he wasn't doing during his spots that I liked when he started the gimmick. Can I have some decorum, please?
yeah, he didn't ask for anyone for decorum, most likely because he got it eventually.
Yeah. Because people are like, yeah, it's Bad News Barrett.
It's just Wade
finally.
Barrett has his fucking "Don't Ignore Me" stage now.
Yes, this is true.
Was this
I
the one
just
where he
love-
talked about? Was this the bad news where he talked about the network, or is that later?
Oh, so that
That's
was
later.
where you
That's
talked
later.
about Hulk
That's later.
Oh, this is the one where he talks about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, before that, after the New Age Outlaws match, Barrett was predicting that Daniel Bryan is going to lose the Chamber,
Damn
Ah,
Almost like
And-
you.
and that the fans will turn on Daniel Bryan.
Oh, by the way,
We'll get on that in just a
by
bit.
the
Of course,
way, by the way, just fuck you if you complain to us about spoilers because you're watching a review show of it. So, and this is
Watch a
obviously-
review of the event after the event is already over.
All,
You
all we gotta
probably saw
say
the
is
event.
foreshadowing. Also, Raw's gonna be coming up soon, so hey, who gives
Yeah.
a shit?
Who
Anyway,
gives a
you're
fuck?
paying to watch the matches, not to learn the results, because they're on the internet everywhere anyway.
Yep.
I'm drunk.
Even though I do always try to keep spoiler free because
Oh, you're not drunk.
spoilers.
I don't care
boring.
about the results. I care about what happens during the match. I don't like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
telling
Yeah,
me
but-
stuff during the match.
Yeah, but it's look. What you're saying is you don't care about the ending. You like to read the rest of the book. What I'm saying is I like to read the rest of the book, but I also don't skip to the back page and go, so that's how it ends, and then find out what the story's about.
I do that sometimes. It kind of ruins RPGs for me once in a while. It's like, oh, you do that, and it's like, oh, we're doing that.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that with video games, as if I've kind of know.
And it spoils the
I end
video.
up- I end up like finding out what happened ahead of time just because I'm stuck on a section or something.
Yep, and it makes the rest of the video game.
For some reason, it's never been an issue for that big an issue for me that I skip ahead. It doesn't ruin it for me for
Right.
some reason.
It does for me, but moving on.
Sometimes it does.
What was the next match? Oh,
The Wyatt family versus the Shield.
Oh.
yes, the match
AJ.
where before they even had touched, every single person was in that arena was chanting, "This is awesome."
Yes.
And it was.
And they were
It's
cheering
just like,
for everyone.
Yeah,
let's go Wyatt. Let's go Shield.
that was just honestly, that was the best.
Hint, hint.
Match of the year candidate again.
Yeah,
Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is going
The
places.
crowd's going apeshit for these guys. I know they're trying, they're getting the hint, but bigger hint.
Yeah.
This match was how to do a match that looks more like a fight and still make it a match.
It
and
looked
make
like a fight to me. Fucking Dean wanted to go. It was amazing.
Ambrose was just going insane.
Everyone
Yeah.
looked good in this match.
Yeah, Ambrose was like the fucking psycho of the team.
It was a rabid dog during that match. It was fantastic.
That's Dean Ambrose for you. You want someone who can go fucking crazy? Ambrose is your guy.
He's good at crazy.
Yeah, he does
Yeah.
crazy. Maybe him and AJ should be a thing.
Oh, that would be something.
I'd
Well,
watch that.
I think we've already had enough of. Most people have already had enough of the AJ gets with this guy storyline, whatever.
Yeah, I know
but
she's
they
getting
can both
with
be
Tamina.
crazy together and it'll be hilarious.
God, I'm just
It's
thinking.
just
I'm
that
just thinking of a
she's-
storyline where he plays the overprotective psycho boyfriend, where it's just if he thinks someone's with her, he'll just charge in and start kicking the shit out of them.
Yeah,
He'd make that work.
he could do the opposite. Like it could be a role reversal thing. It'll be awesome.
She'd be the overprotective girlfriend who goes after any diva she thinks is going after her man.
No, that's what she normally is, but this time it'll be the other way around. It'll be Ambrose that was the insane guy.
You're talking to AJ
Yes.
Big Show, you piece of shit.
I kick your ass!
King Kong,
It's just-
I'm gonna kick your ass.
How
You
many-
point at my girlfriend? Ah!
How many storylines has she had where she's either already where she's romancing someone? She's romanced CM
About
Punk.
4.
Yeah.
5 if we count Kane. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Kane, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler. So yeah.
They were
But-
a while ago, but I'm just getting off topic. This match was fucking amazing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a
Everyone
really
looked good in this.
Yeah, it was honestly a case of everyone got to show off how talented they were, you know. And they gave them enough time, that was the one thing I was worried about with this card being as packed as it was. I was worried they were going to give 20 minutes to Batista and then 5 to them, but no, they gave them a lot of time. And the crowd was just so into this match because it was new, you know. It felt new. It felt great.
It was
a
the
feud-
match
it was a
everyone
feud
wanted
that,
by the time the Wyatts came in.
It was a different kind of feud, which everyone liked. It was order versus chaos instead of just face heel, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just and they cheered for them just because of who they were and what they did, instead of boo, he kicked a baby, you know, because they both kicked babies.
This is one of the few times where you have heels versus a heel versus heel type match, and it worked.
I would say
Yeah.
that the Shield did feel like the faces in this one though.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's mainly because everyone's starting to get behind.
You know
Roman
what's the
Reigns.
best definition? It was bad versus evil.
Yeah.
Which one was Eminem?
Shut up.
Shut up.
They were both making it.
I don't even know what you're
Anyway.
talking about, but okay.
Eminem had something he did called Bad versus Evil.
Yeah, I like. By the way, I really like when the Rollins came in because I kind of get he's like the little cannonball of the team of the
Rollins
field.
did some ridiculous spots in this one.
Like he just he just went go the entire time.
Yeah. He did his flippy shit. Dean Ambrose went fucking insane. Roman Reigns had his awesome powerhouse stuff.
Man, Roman Reigns just kicks ass. I don't know why people think he sucks. At least
I don't know either.
I don't
Honestly,
think anyone thinks he
I
sucks.
think the reason why some people think that is because he's with two other such,
Yeah, it's
like,
probably the
talented people.
indie guy stigma.
it's that, and I think people just can't let go of the fact he looks a little bit like Batista. A little bit.
He looks nothing like
he's
Batista.
he's better Tista.
He doesn't look anything like Batista.
I don't say that at all.
Me neither.
And even if we did, I'm still calling him better Tista.
I
think
yeah, this match
think-
is honestly another match of the year candidate.
I think
Yeah.
me, Roman Reigns, he does the cool intensity thing that Randy Orton tried to do.
I just like
during
whenever
the
they cut to
Viper
Roman
thing.
Reigns making like a face that's just like don't fuck with him. Like he's not even yelling or doing anything. He's just staring people down. It's like, oh shit.
It stares right into your soul and makes you piss yourself.
Yeah.
He does the cool like low and like the subdued intensity thing that Randy Orton tries to do, but Randy Orton doesn't know how, and Roman makes it work.
Yeah, but honestly, this match got a bigger reaction than Daniel Bryan did.
The
And that's
entire
fucking
match
crazy.
than any other match.
Yeah, like normally Daniel Bryan would get the yes chance, and those would be the loudest thing that night. No, this entire match, the crowd this was the loudest they were by far.
It started as a
Crowd
brawl.
exploded for this.
It started as a brawl, then it turned into a tag team match, and then it turned into a brawl again. Seth Rollins got put into a table. Dean Ambrose went to the back and got put in a shed or something.
I think honestly the best, like, some of the spots though were completely ridiculous. Like when it was either Rowan or Harper went to was it superplex Rollins off the top rope and he landed on his feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a really good spot.
That was insane.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose got so lost, the T1000's now looking for him.
Oh, do you know? I just remembered. We were joking while watching the pay-per-view about Jerry Lawler opening up the WWE Network.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and like
they
every time he
ripped all
opened up the
the monitors
WWE
out.
Network, it's like, stop playing SummerSlam, we're gonna get in trouble.
And then they ripped out all the monitors.
And then they ripped out all the monitors, it's like, fuck piracy, no.
That was good.
My favorite part
Yeah.
was when, like, it was 3-on-1 of just Roman Reigns versus all of the Wyatt family. And then Roman was just like, fuck it, we're going.
And Bray had him in the Sister Abigail's kids, and Roman just broke it off. And Bray, being an idiot at this moment, decided to start headbutting Roman.
You fucking kissed me, you piece of shit!
And what Bray didn't realize is you're not supposed to headbutt a Samoan.
This was a theme.
Yeah.
Do not
Running
headbutt
theme
Samoans.
Well, it's a theme that ended with this match because there were
Yeah.
no more Samoans on the
Honestly,
card.
what I think they're going to do with this is I think that Roman's going to say they kind of left him behind to get, like, fucked up by the Wyatts.
Yeah, Rollins was, kind of... Rollins
Dead.
had no choice. He was dead. But Ambrose just kind of vanished. We don't know if he actually was put into a shed or if he just ran off like
Went to a
pussy.
shed / rape dungeon or just got out of Dodge.
I can see Ambrose like complaining to the other guys, like, why didn't you guys look for me? Why weren't you concerned that I went missing?
I could see Reigns and Rollins on Raw just trying to find Ambrose, and they just have no idea where he is. Then it turns out that he's been taken by the Wyatts.
That could be.
He goes all
that could
lost
be,
in Cleveland.
That could
Just
be an
find
interesting angle.
I could see that.
No,
happening.
not
They
Cleveland.
they have him tied to this. They have him tied to that rocking chair.
Oh my god, that would be amazing to see. Actually,
That would.
And him being and maybe. Oh god, I'm going back to the Attitude Era.
Oh,
Never mind.
Hey, Ellie, you should mention the joke you made about the Spanish announce table. That was great.
I forgot what it was.
It was how it was like like the Mexicans like start complaining to the authority, or they join forces with Daniel Bryan because their table keeps getting broken.
We have to pay for that every week.
And
then
and
just
then
like-
they got the tables.
And then
I
they
want
join,
someone to
they
put
join
my-
Daniel Bryan, and then like Daniel Bryan's just doing the yes chants, and then there's like 3 Mexicans behind him. Eat, eat, eat.
Uh,
and then fight. Or you also mentioned like what it would be funny is like if they break the American announce table first, and they're all. I think Mick was the one who made that joke.
No, they
like,
break the announce
the-
tables, and then they start like celebrating and high fiving, and then they break their tables, and then there's like, oh. Damn Americans!
I need somewhere to put my nachos.
uh,
Oh God, I just thought of something horrible. Like the Americans start making fun of decide to make fun of the Spanish announcers by putting a big bag of Tostitos in a bowl of salsa. And
That'd be funny if they just took the salsa and started eating it. Delicious.
and they're like, "What the fuck?"
I'm sorry, but if a prank is giving someone tortilla chips and some dip, I accept that prank and eat the dip and chips.
Yes.
It's like, hey, cool.
They're
I
like,
don't have
hey,
to pay for
food.
these. Hey, food.
This is fucking awesome. Do this prank call.
I'm trying to think of what would be an insulting prank.
A sombrero with nachos in it.
Oh.
Giving the entire Spanish announce table a poncho.
oh man.
No, just a
And we're back to
No,
racist
just like a
content.
mariachi band standing right behind the table playing it all
Oh
time.
my god, no, even better, right? Instead of a Spanish announce table, they get like a giant stuffed donkey and just put that there instead.
That's even worse than my idea. I mean, actually, it's not as bad as my idea.
They have to.
They put a fence between the American and Mexican announce tables.
Oh! Wow.
And then Zeb Coulter puts a sign out saying Zeb Coulter approves.
Oh my god.
Back on
Oh,
topic,
God.
this was a really good match and stuff, and Dean Ambrose is still missing, so...
Yeah, let's get off the racism now.
Well, we gotta do some funny shit like this because or else we're just
Yeah,
gonna to try
Otherwise,
and
it's
cheer
gonna be
us up
mostly
from the
gotcha.
bad shit that's gonna happen that we're gonna have to talk about later.
Yeah, after this match, it
I miss
pretty much goes downhill from here.
Well, you couldn't really
That's not entirely true.
you couldn't really follow this match, could you?
Yeah, you couldn't really follow this match, which is why they gave us this this breather match of AJ Lee versus Cameron for the Divas title.
I'm sorry, I blinked and missed this one as well.
It was a short match, and mostly was just building up to a future match.
Yeah.
Basically, it was 4 minutes of stuff, ended in a disqualification. But the important thing was where Tamina goes for a super kick and kicks AJ in the face. I mean,
I didn't mean
Yeah.
to do it. I'm sorry. I went to the bathroom when we
it
were
was
talking about the
and
Divas
it
match.
sounded hard as hell.
Sorry.
Yeah, and
Like,
she was really holding her hand over her mouth, like.
yeah, a lot of us
that
thought she was
hurt.
bleeding.
Honestly, here's the thing. Cameron has improved, but she still seems pretty green. She still seems kind of green to be put on a pay-per-view.
This was a
Who
filler
knows?
match. It wasn't. It wasn't a proper title match.
I feel bad for going to the bathroom
Yeah.
when we're talking about the Divas match.
It was just a match to help build up to WrestleMania, continuing that theme.
What's even worse is I did the same thing during the Divas match.
But yeah, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, just a quick breather, get
Really?
some snacks, take a
Well,
piss,
honestly,
whatever.
I just think people needed to chill because if they had
Yeah, we
another,
needed to
if they
chill
had another
after-
match, like they want people to get excited for just after that, they wouldn't because
It'd
that
be
match
hard.
was
It would be.
that would be it would be lower quality regardless.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah, it was like when Taker Michaels happened before.
it's
Orton
like
Triple
a
H.
diamond or a diamond versus like a foil. So you lay the diamond on the foil to make the diamond shine more, pretty much. Because comparisons.
Yep.
You don't lay a diamond on a table made of diamond.
And it just
That's a
gets
strange
lost. And it's
analogy,
just
Ali.
a whole bunch of diamonds.
Then you just realize, where did I get all these diamonds? And then you're rich.
Oh, and after the Divas match, we get our last bad news Barrett.
Which is about how the WWE Network is so awesome it will destroy society.
Yes.
Post-apocalyptic. Yeah, he paints a post-apocalyptic scenario of just like what will
Like
happen when the
everyone
WWE
will
Network
lose
comes
their
out.
jobs because they'll be too busy watching the network.
I gotta say that is
And
some straight Republican reasoning. I applaud him
That
for
is
that.
a fantastic way of marketing it, though. I gotta give them props for that way of marketing the WWE
It will
Network.
ruin your fucking life.
Follow this segment with oh god, it's every annoying personality sans Emma because she's only been on the show for a bit.
Screw you!
She was there,
Oh, I
actually.
love El Torito.
It was a very strange scene
I
of a
mean-
midget, an Italian, and Great Khali playing Legos together. Oh, and and Primo.
No, it wasn't Lego. It wasn't Legos, was it?
Mega
It's
Block.
just
It's Mega
Yeah,
Block.
Oh,
Mega
it's
Block?
it's shit Lego. Okay.
It's that Lego knockoff that isn't Duplo.
By the
Duplo
way-
is part of Lego.
Damn it, what happened to
Did anyone,
Sticklebricks?
did anyone notice that
Fuck your British Legos,
that
Nathan.
when they actually started to play with the toys, they were just kind of like they failed at playing with toys. They
No,
didn't
but
know
what they
were
were
just
doing
kind of.
was stupid. Like they were just bashing them together in the ring.
Yeah, Roxanne, you gotta remember that these are fully grown men with jobs playing with
Yes,
toys.
Emma is a fully grown man with a job. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not like they
she's
were
a
booked
fully
that
grown
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like we could have had AJ versus Emma, but
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna have them play with toys, actually show them how to play with the toys or something.
have
maybe?
Cody Rhodes do it. He could have done it.
Why Cody Rhodes?
He actually knows how to play with toys.
Hey,
I wouldn't
He
have
plays
minded
with toys
that.
and he
Honestly, I
fucking
wouldn't
takes
have
it seriously.
minded another segment with Goldust and Cody.
he also knows how to
playing
put
with
on.
toys.
He also knows how to
the
put
first
on.
time was great.
He also knows how to very sensually put on lip gloss.
This is true.
Yep. But honestly, I will take this segment 8 times over what's gonna come next.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I probably would too.
I might have skipped this match.
Wait, Emma did show up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was-
Emma was in that segment.
Was
Emma-
Hornswoggle in the segment?
No,
Mhm.
surprisingly,
El
No one's
Torito
fun.
was.
El Torito was the midget du jour.
That Torito doesn't count.
Emma.
He's not a
honestly,
human.
It didn't matter that Emma was in the segment because she's completely wasted because she's with Santino. And all they're having her do is her awkward dancing. Yeah, I understand that got over great in her developmental, but that's all they're doing with her.
Who cares?
They'll probably use her eventually in actual matches.
Yeah, who cares?
Because what we
move on
learned
to
from
that.
Johnny Curtis, what's better for advertising for your wrestler than having them not wrestle?
Yeah.
It worked for Johnny Curtis, though.
Oh, when he was like pouring milk on a plate
Oh no, I thought you meant when he was
and
going
rubbing
as
jam
the
on
fan.
walls.
I thought you meant when he was doing the whole
Damn it,
"I
Alex,
will
don't
not
bring
wrestle
that
this
up
guy
again."
because Fandango is too good for that type of thing.
Huh.
I thought you meant that.
But yeah.
No, that worked.
Yeah,
That
that's what I meant.
actually worked.
Gotta love jam.
Yeah.
I'm not wrestling because you can't pronounce my name correctly.
Yeah.
That was such a that got him such heat.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Anyway.
Fun.
As you folks can't probably tell, we're trying to put this off forever, but
Yeah.
we have to get to it.
Yeah, I tried. I only watched a bit of this match because I was not about to watch this match because I knew
Yeah, I
it was
didn't
going
watch
to
it.
suck.
Well,
Yeah, this was not.
I did. Del Rio comes out in like regular clothes with like a neck brace and a crutch and just talks about how injured he is.
That part I saw.
And then he
Which,
does
yeah,
a
we all
sneak
know
attack to Batista and the crowd cheers because fuck him.
Fuck Batista,
Actually, the fans
seriously.
chanted "C," and
Yeah, they
and
did
then
a
they
C
started
chant.
chanting "Batista" as fucking Del Rio beats
Oh,
the
that
shit
was
out of him
so
for a while.
loud, too.
I was chanting Batista.
Ooh, Batista.
Ooh, Batista.
Batista.
And the entire besides that, Del Rio doesn't get much offense in, and then Batista kicks his ass for 10 minutes and then wins.
It was
And also, might we add, throughout this entire match, the crowd was not
And like
there.
Batista would sell for like a second of just like holding his arm and then just go back to normal, which is not how you fucking sell, by the way.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah, he
not-
makes
At least
Cena
look like you're
bad,
tired.
bad.
Come on, dude. So yeah,
Even
besides
Cena is-
after
even
Batista
Cena isn't
wins,
that bad.
the crowd pretty much shits on him, and Batista just goes, "Deal with it,"
Yeah.
and then leaves.
Well, we will not deal with it, Dave Batista.
Damn
You are terrible and old. Go
He's
away.
40 fucking 5.
Yeah.
Batista, did no one in the back remind you that you're supposed to be the face, even if the fans don't like you? I mean, if they're gonna turn you heel, then fine, but you can't do that.
I think he's a
if
heel
they're-
already, just on the basis of we hate him.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
he's
clear,
he's an
pretty
X-Pac
visibly
heel.
clear that the crowd is
To the
not
point
in
we'll
support
cheer
of him.
Alberto Del fucking Rio over Batista any day.
And
And-
Alberto Del Rio does not
Ali,
get
you know, after your Royal Rumble pick, which you got, where you got Alberto Del Rio, you should be happy
That's
with
right.
this one.
Ali is supposed to cheer Alberto Del Rio.
Well, I'm
until
happy.
after-
Well, I'm happy he beat Batista with a crutch.
Yes, we were all wanting to hit him again too. Just like keep
Keep
going.
doing it.
Go, go, go!
No,
By
just
By the way,
Yeah.
there were several chants from other wrestlers during this match, but there were throughout the night there were plenty of CM Punk chants.
and Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, there were
It's
some
par for
really
the
loud
course.
ones.
We want Lesnar. We want. I think we want Ziggler was one of them. I remember there's a "We Want Tables" chant in the middle of the 6-man tag.
And the
I
Darren
just kind of
Young
was
match
like-
for some reason.
There were
There-
during the
was it-
Del Rio match. Apparently, that there was I missed this, but there was a chant for Jericho.
Yeah, there was.
And it was also another chant for Rob Van Dam.
Yeah,
I'm so look. Nobody wants to see
That's
Batista.
how lost the
None of the
crowd
crowds
was.
want to see
Yeah.
Batista. No one.
I would rather watch Rob Van Dam any day than Batista.
There is nothing.
Because unlike
People like
Batista,
about
Rob Van
Batista.
Dam fucking got into shape.
Yeah.
And
Really
the thing
started
is,
kicking
I
in gear.
think they booked this ahead of time because obviously with this reaction, I think this was a really bad decision, and it just seems like Batista's ego and them trying to make it work is just going to overshadow the fact that it doesn't fucking work. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to see an old boring guy with no wrestling move special.
Yep.
And
That's no
this
charisma.
is and Del Rio's gonna and rumors are that Del Rio is gonna quit because they're feeding him to Batista, which is what
He
they
hasn't
did
quit
here.
I
yet,
wouldn't blame
so
him.
it's just a rumor for now.
I mean, if it ends up being true, I wouldn't blame him.
I wouldn't blame him either, because fuck that. I don't want to.
But it's not like he needs to be in WWE. I mean,
No.
he's got a
You work here.
he's got a huge career in Mexico,
He
you know?
does. But I'm just going to say, you
can
go
also-
to work every week. You bust your ass. Just doing your fucking job. And what do you get? You get an old guy who comes back with no fucking talent and jumps, like fucking leapfrogs over you just to take the title when you're just like, oh, you're going to lose to him, by the way.
Yeah.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. I can
Yeah.
understand what the issue is with that, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said in the Rumble, it's someone
It's
that's
rude to your own. It's rude to your own locker room.
Even if it's someone that has some talent going back.
Well,
They've been gone for so long.
At least The Rock got
that
some hype
it's
because
not
he was
fair,
the fucking
it's
Rock.
Not for the talent it's not fair to the talent that's there week after week after week, and have been there for
He
years,
worked
and
6
suddenly
hours.
a guy's been gone for years, and then they come back, like The Rock, for instance, and they suddenly get a title shot.
They work
Honestly, I'm
5
trying to
days
think.
per week, and their job is getting their ass kicked.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the past old guys returning type of thing. Let's see, there's been Rob Van Dam, Jericho, twice. Quite a while ago, there was Kevin Nash.
At least The Rock was The Rock for a while
Rock,
before
yeah.
he became shitty Rock.
Well, the thing is, every single one of them, not one of them was pushed to the degree that Batista's been. I mean, even The Rock, he won the title, but at the same time, you did believe that a guy like Alberto Del Rio would be able to beat him in a match,
I think so.
Especially after you've seen, especially after that long World Heavyweight title reign that Del Rio has just finished coming off. It's just burying the entirety of the roster, which it's disgusting.
It's not helping things. Batista's actually harming the company just by existing.
It is.
It's impressive.
I know.
It'd be impressive if it wasn't so sad.
Batista.
Batista.
It's another case, and this is what we talked about last time, is they have the developmental center. When they decided they were going to go forth with bringing him in the developmental center, before they even put him, had him come out. You have the developmental center, WWE. You need to be using it to make sure your guys are ready to go when they go out there. There's no excuse anymore. There's no excuse anymore for someone to not be ready. You have it there. Use it.
I would like to give you guys a pop quiz. A surprise test. What does Batista have that somebody else doesn't?
Skinny jeans.
He does have skinny jeans, but
Not
that's
much.
what I mean.
No, like Jericho had some skinny jeans.
A lot of muscles, I guess, maybe.
Biggie has a lot of muscles.
Kind of beats him on that.
Biggie and Ryback have a lot of muscles.
Yeah.
Very roided up muscles. I don't know.
I know what he has.
Rock has roided up muscles.
I know what he has. He
What?
has history with Triple H.
So does Randy Orton, and he's in the main event. Oh,
Yeah. Honestly, I think I would have preferred it if it was Ric Flair to Batista. Honestly,
Ric Flair coming back. It's like, fuck it, I'm going to take the title from you.
yeah, it would have been much better.
And much more
It
entertaining.
does make me wonder if Triple H might not be behind this decision and be entering in his buddies, but I have a hard time believing that. But
I don't think it's Triple H. I think
yeah,
this is WWE's a publicly traded company, and they're going, Dave Batista was a popular person, push him.
well, that
I
he has the
do,
movie
I do
coming
think
up.
that this is just a marketing ploy, but still.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
like,
because
all
the
these
movie
wrestlers
and
to care
he
about
has
Hulk
the movie
Hogan,
coming out.
Batista and The Rock, and then
Okay, so do you guys think the £1 million question? Do you guys think that Batista's going to win the title at WrestleMania?
if I do,
Fuck no.
if he does, I quit. Like,
The Rock,
Oh, if he
Rock
did.
won the WWE title.
Yeah, I was about to.
It-
yeah, and also The Rock was the one that introduced the new design.
I'm not the
Yeah.
kind,
It's
I'm not the
starting-
kind of person who throws the words around of me quitting like seriously, but if that happens, fuck it, I'm going for like a year.
Yeah.
It's starting to look like that's what they're going to do. It really does. It's sad to say. It looks like that's where they're heading.
Hell, even didn't Brock Lesnar get like fucked over a couple times? When
Yeah.
he came back, like, it wasn't just he's winning all the time.
In
Yeah,
fact, he
John
lost-
Cena and Triple H beat him.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they didn't even push Brock Lesnar this much.
And
Which is a shame because I think Brock
Lesnar
Lesnar's a
beat him.
hell of a lot
On the
better.
basis of being Brock Lesnar-y.
Well, that and I wouldn't be surprised if they had second thoughts on pushing Brock Lesnar to the moon because they would be afraid of the X-Pac heat that he'd get because of his
Honestly, I think people like
last
Brock Lesnar
performance
a little
in
more.
WrestleMania
now.
20.
I think most people had buried the hatchet with it and really.
I like Brock Lesnar more than I like Batista. That's the best way I
By
can
far.
explain it.
Well, actually, the crowd seems to like Brock Lesnar more than Batista.
Yeah.
And that's
Of
saying
course they
something.
do. Brock Lesnar,
Brock Lesnar,
Lesnar
is
isn't
comedy
shit.
gold.
comedy gold,
Well,
and also fucking.
Also, kind
least
of
getting
scary
more
when
fucking
he's not
dumb.
doing the comedy gold thing.
the thing with
Mhm.
Brock Lesnar is, right, is he actually was a legitimate athlete at one point.
Yeah.
And even if he's a little older, he still can go when
Yeah.
when the need
When
rises.
they do Brock
Honestly-
when they do Brock Lesnar right, they can actually do Brock Lesnar right.
Honestly,
Well,
one
yeah, Brock
didn't
Lesnar versus
realize
CM
until
Punk was an
quite
amazing
recently
match.
was Brock Lesnar's actually really good at taking bumps as well.
Yeah.
Like when you had the Big Show, like threw him across the ring. It took a lot of athletic skill to
The
be
only
able to
thing I
do-
gotta say is Brock Lesnar should never wrestle another brute.
This is true.
Yeah.
The only time it
Yeah.
worked is when Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of Big Show.
Yeah,
Which I still say was a fantastic way to sell him.
I do not like. I did not care for that because they had better matches before, and I think they could have had a match.
It wasn't a match. It was a scene, pretty much.
I would have preferred a match.
Well, that's because Royal Rumble was kind of light.
Yeah. That was a problem with Royal Rumble, not with the way they booked it, I think. Moving on to the next one.
And the final match.
Onwards to the chamber
The Chamber, which was
with its bulletproof pods.
with his bulletproof wobbly pods.
Yeah,
They're bulletproof.
Look, no. The glass, the Plexan glass is bulletproof. They just never ever fix it on right.
Well,
Yeah,
Lexan
it's
glass,
bulletproof, but
Lexan
not
glass.
bulletproof. That's
What it
bulletproof.
does, it absorbs the shock of the bullet. If it was any
Yeah.
harder, it would shatter. So it is bulletproof, but at the same time, people get the wrong idea when they think bulletproof.
It's bulletproof,
much.
but it sure as
I
hell
still
ain't
think it was
bulletproof as we
plexiglass,
found.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
probably was,
plexiglass.
but I don't have a problem with it.
I think this was one of the times though, this is probably the only time I've seen where it took a couple tries. It took a couple of times before someone actually did something that like broke the glass or broke through it.
And then they broke like every single one.
The first couple times that people bounced off, which looked horrible. That looked sick.
Oh, yeah, that looked disgusting when it happened to Christian.
Also, I gotta commend them. They kept John Cena and Randy Orton out as long as possible, or out of the match as long as possible.
Yeah, it was like just like we were joking around doing like fucking no whammies, and it was just like it's like, hey, it's,
And look, all
it's
the
Daniel
good
Bryan
wrestlers
out
are
there.
out.
Like, hey,
Yeah,
John Cena and Randy Orton are going last.
I will say, yeah, one thing about this match is there was pretty much very little interaction between Cena and Orton,
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
which was good. Which was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably learned from how their last match got reacted to. They were like, we should probably not do that much spots together.
Everyone got their time to shine, which I liked. But the thing I didn't like was it seemed like every time they got their time to shine, they'd be eliminated. Like just after.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Christian's being awesome, he's out. You know. Look at Cesaro doing that.
There were some good spots in this match. I'll give him that. Like Sheamus breaking the plexiglass, which is a kick. Just like holy shit!
Fucking kicked the
Yeah,
plexiglass
that was
just because Randy Orton was being a dick.
Oh shit!
Pretty much, Sheamus got the Big Show spot of this chamber.
Sheamus looked fucking great in that match. by the way.
Sheamus needs to stick to that. I think he needs to be pretty much a punch first, ask questions while punching.
Ask questions while punching.
See, this is what I miss from our reviews is where we'll shit on the bad shit. Shit on
We'll
the
have a
bad
little
shit.
fun with it.
Well,
That
shit on the
seems redundant.
shit.
Shitception.
All of the shitting.
But I mean, we'll complain about the bad stuff, but we'll do it while joking. That's kind of what I just remember that past reviews has been constantly like going on and obsessing over how bad things are.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this pay-per-view was pretty good compared to Royal Rumble.
This was actually this was a pretty good pay-per-view.
It had some
yeah.
matches, but the good matches kind of outshined it.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to
Particularly
the
6-man
chamber.
tag match.
Oh, that was fun.
Cesaro looked
Antonio
awesome.
Cesaro.
Christian
Oh my
looked
god!
pretty good.
Oh my
Cesaro did
God.
that duplex.
Cesaro's a fucking. It's actually
It's a fucking
someone.
machine.
Yes, he damn fucking is.
How long before
Like,
Cesaro
okay, it's
breaks away
like,
from
oh
the
great,
belt?
Cena's got Daniel Bryan in the AA, and then in comes Cesaro, who fucking suplexes them. It's just like
Both at the same time.
Yeah.
I know
That's
that
what-
was amazing.
That's what amazes me about Cesaro is like he doesn't look. He's deceptively strong. Like he doesn't look as strong as he actually is. That's what.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like
when
the.
he, that's
he
so
doesn't
when he
have the kind
pulls
of, like-
something out. When he pulls something like that, you're like, holy crap!
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like he doesn't have the kind of like, physique that Cena does, but he also is capable of deadlifting the Great Khali. So
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And swinging his Orton round and round.
But
which resulted in a
going to
joke
that
that
really-
you hated me for.
No, I didn't hate it because I hate Katy Perry's song more.
Right.
And you didn't
So
make a
you
Dark
forgave
Horse
me
joke.
for the Pitbull.
You got
I'll say
you got
this.
pardoned.
Yeah, he swung Randy Orton a new giant swing record of 30 reps.
And
Lord.
I gotta say that was
Yeah.
the most interesting Orton has ever been.
Terrible camera angle though.
God, that
yeah, I
makes me wanna
had to
puke.
say, yeah.
Why do
This
they
is
always do that
zooming
thing
in
where
on
they
every
zoom in
thing.
and
It's the
out?
second or third. How many times have they done this now? Where they keep
Royal
doing that?
Rumble, couple of Raws, and this.
it's just, it really is not a good idea to do that whole perspective where it's like, whoa, whoa.
I know he's
Like,
spinning,
that's
but
not
I can observe him spinning. It's impressive.
We want to watch the spin. Don't ruin the spin.
I'm
God damn it,
Randy
Kevin Dunn.
Orton's face.
But also, if the way that they handle the spin, it makes it feel like they got someone from TNA.
Yeah.
Been going the
There
shaky.
has been a lot of that TNA style production these days.
They got shaky cramp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked how I liked Christian in the match. He kind of was overshadowed a little bit by everyone else, but
Christian mostly did some of the bump taking. He did have that really nice
he takes bumps
splash
like a
up the
champ,
top.
though.
Yeah, I was questioning what Christian's role in this match was, and I was like, oh, okay, he's the bump taker. Got it.
Yeah, he's a bump taker, and also he was like the underdog choice of just like, I wonder if Christian will actually last long in this. Like not the underdog and the guy you want to win, the underdog, and yeah, he's probably not going to win, but I wonder what they're going to do with him.
But it was a thing. As Ali said, it was a thing where okay, Sheamus gets eliminated first, which that's fine. But then right after Christian hits his big spot, he immediately gets eliminated, and the same happens for Cesaro later. Like they'll really get a really cool spot and then immediately get eliminated afterward. It's like, what the fuck?
And Daniel Bryan was just a ball of kicks and yelling and guessing. And
oh my god, that's right. The spot where he's like just kicking Sheamus and Cesaro back and forth. kick,
kicks and yelling.
Kick.
I love that part just because of JBL. Thank God he's only got 2 legs.
Four-legged Daniel Bryan.
Commentary was surprisingly good that night.
Yeah.
Well, they were into it.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan becomes the god Shiva, except instead of arms, he has legs.
I am become death.
Everyone.
Destroyer of your nose.
Which will kick all of your asses.
Yeah. But
I'm a mark for his kicking people.
So let's get on to the ending, and I'll let you guys go ahead.
Well, first of all, the match gets jeffed when I think it's just, wasn't it Orton? It was Orton, Cena,
It was Orton.
D-Bry. Yeah.
It was Orton, Cena, and Daniel Bryan, and Cena got attacked by the Wyatts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which everyone chanted, "Thank you, Wyatt."
And the reason for that is that's when it became Cena and Orton again. It looked like because Cena had the SDF.
I like
on
how
Orton,
that's
and it's
all
like
they
everybody's
did.
like, everyone is like, "Boo! We've seen it. We don't care." Jeff, and then Jeff.
And then come the Wyatts.
And then the Wyatts were just like, "No, you're not wrestling together anymore." And then they left. It was just like,
But they actually got Cena down. They got Cena down to a pinnable state, and Randy Orton got the pin. And as the Wyatts were coming out, out comes Kane Chekhov.
Here comes my boy Kane.
Kizane.
Please, I'm right now. I've always been a fan of Kane, to be honest.
Kane.
But I'm sorry, I don't like what they're doing with him right now. He's the guy. He's become the guy who is.
I think I like him more as the Big Red Machine, really.
Yeah, but
I like Kane
I don't
play
mind
with this a bit.
I like
I don't
Kane,
mind
Kane, not
being
business
the-
Kane.
I don't
Not
mind
Citizen
the
Kane.
business Kane thing. It's the fact that he's become the screw certain people over guy.
Yeah. And that eventually
screw the fan choices.
Not only did he do it once, not twice, 3 times of him just fucking over the match, right when Daniel Bryan's just about to win. But the problem is, that's all he's been doing.
it's
Yeah.
just- like, I know I'm technically supposed to support Kane because he was my pick from the Rumble, but after a while I was just like, no, I can't do it. I can't honestly
it works
fake
once
this.
or twice. It's just like, oh shit, he fucked the match.
Yeah,
But he's doing it every goddamn time now.
And now he's doing like he did it like multiple times in this match, and it just got to the point. It's like, God damn it!
Kane, you are ruining the match. Stop it.
I pretty much knew as soon as Kane came out and Brian attacked him. I was like, they're still gonna have him screw over Brian for that.
I knew
Why
it
do you
as
think
soon
I
as
called
he
him
showed up.
Kane Chekhov, Rocktan?
But
Kane
the
Chekhov.
thing is,
Very
I
nice.
thought what would happen would be Kane would try. Like the thing I would want to happen is Kane tries to interfere, and then Daniel Bryan just goes fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
Like
not the case.
they did that. Like Kane interferes, Daniel Bryan tells him to fuck off. He gets RKO'd by Orton, but only after Kane gets told to fuck off, he breaks out of the pin, and Kane stays in the chamber.
And interferes again.
Interferes a second time.
And then there's another RKO, and then it's over, and then we are all
This
sad.
is like, if that was your ending, end it there, not in Kane interfering twice without getting thrown out.
Like, it's just too many shenanigans.
You got Jeffed, you got caned, you don't need another Kane in your cane.
There's too many Canes, goddammit.
Too many fucking Canes.
And then they showed the reactions from some of the crowd members.
And people were,
And my
and I
God.
think that the crowd reaction could be the dictionary entry for apathy.
I also
deflated.
it looked like a lot of them looked just depressed. Like,
They were just like, they weren't
like-
sad,
like-
they weren't infuriated, they're just like, again?
Like, fuck.
and
I
some of them
read that.
some of them had the look of, oh my god, really? Oh. It's like they were kind of, they had this kind of stunned look on their face.
It was fantastic heel booking. They just kept building up that Daniel Bryan's finally going to win. They had Kane do the interference, and Daniel Bryan kicked out. Yes, yes, yes. And then Kane interfered again, and yeah.
That's the thing that bothers me. If they wanted to do that spot, first time's a charm,
Yeah, get it done in the first. Do it the
I
first
like
time. This is basic booking. Never repeat a spot at like certain points. Like
No,
say a
I
table
disagree.
spot fails.
I enjoyed
Don't
it.
do the table spot again. You know,
I thought it worked.
it could have worked if they had cut it down to just like if there was
No,
less time.
they kept giving the fans that glimmer of hope, and finally they just pulled it away.
I guess.
This
You know what,
this
honestly-
this wouldn't have be so offensive though, Nathan, if this was like maybe the first or second time they've done this to us.
They're booking
Yeah.
heel.
Yeah, but after a while, here's the thing though, Nathan. After a while, if you don't give
After
the
a
face
while-
any sort of
After a while, if it keeps happening, you expect it, and we were expecting it, and it happened. So yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
it's just
a
after a
corrupt-
while you just kind of get burnt out on all the fucking shenanigans.
It's supposed to be a corrupt, like
Yeah,
Like a
I know,
faction.
but still.
but if it's the same ending every time, it just ruins your
Like,
investment in the match.
Yeah.
It didn't for me. I enjoyed the ending. These guys are just being bitter.
But like, what I would like to see is when the Wyatts interfered, D-Bry goes after them, and then they like beat the shit out of D-Bry for a while. But then like D-Bry still,
they just kicked D-Bry once.
But
and then after
I'll
that,
say this.
when the Wyatts leave, D-Bry's roughed up, but he's still in the match. And then he's about to win, and then Kane shows up and fucks him over. The end.
that could have. But you know what? Honestly, I feel like if anything, this also
Because
kind
Daniel
of
Bryan has history with
devalues
Wyatt.
Randy Orton just as much. Because here's the thing: at this point, Orton has never gotten a clean win off of Bryan.
Yes.
That was part of the storyline, and they didn't go with that. They could have had Orton beat Bryan clean. I would have been fine with that.
They don't want to do that until WrestleMania, I thought. But now, Daniel Bryan lost his chance again.
How would they be able
Yeah.
to do that at WrestleMania?
I think that's going to be the last time D-Bry goes for the title for a couple of months, though. Because now he's going to be in a straight feud until WrestleMania, I think.
This is I'm sorry. I mean, you could argue yes, it would I may have had less problem with it if Daniel Bryan is less clean, but I still would have. Bryan needs to win. Period.
Yeah, we do know. I think we're all in agreement that Bryan needs to get some sort of big victory, but
It's just I'm sick of like he just doesn't ever win. Like he doesn't even get he just doesn't win at all.
just
Like,
keep
I
building
know
up to knock him
I know
down.
they keep holding it off for a big payoff, but he just doesn't fucking
and
win.
when he does win, he ends up losing at the end of it.
Yeah,
Like something happens to make
I
him
don't have a
look.
problem with it. I really don't. It's
The only
build
thing
up. Just because we're all used to the modern era of we'll build something up for a month and then have a payoff. I like that what they're doing with Debray is giving it a slow,
Nathan, it's
a
been
slow build.
6 months.
6 months is about the time of a short feud back in the classic wrestling era.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
here's
but
the thing:
people
the
held
burn is
championship
so
for
slow.
6 years.
Nathan, the burn is so slow that you could heal it with a glass of water.
Especially because like if you keep taking the ball away, you don't want the ball anymore.
Here's a good analogy, Nathan. That they've done this experiment. I've heard about this. They've done this experiment with They've done this experiment with frogs, where they if they put a frog in boiling water that's already boiling, the frog will immediately jump out. But if you put the frog in the pot and then you start bringing the water to a boil, the frog will stay until it dies. What they're doing. That's what they're doing here. They're boiling the frog slowly.
That is a terrible analogy.
It is.
I just
How is that a terrible analogy? That's exactly what they're
Because
doing.
it involves dead frogs.
because that makes no sense.
Yes, it does. You just don't understand it.
You don't understand.
You don't know me.
I'm just saying.
You don't
that
know me. You don't know me.
This might be me, or it might be how other people act, but if you keep telling me you're going to get me something, and then at the last second you tell me, no, I'm not, and you do it 8 times, I don't fucking want it anymore because I know that if I did it again, you would just not get it. Keep taking the ball from the baby, the ball stop giving a shit.
Yeah, but the more they do, but if that crowd reaction proves anything, it's that people are getting more and more sick and tired of these shenanigans.
Which is how people turn
Except I'm
away.
No, it's not.
Legitimately sick and tired of
It
shenanigans.
shows that
not
people
storyline
care.
sick and tired of
When
shenanigans.
people care and they say, "I'm going to stop playing this or watching
I've
this or
ceased
whatever,"
caring.
Yeah, and if people say they're gonna stop watching this and they stop watching, what the fuck happens then, Nathan?
when people say they're going to stop watching, it means I care too much and I don't want to see this again, right?
How do you care by
and
leaving?
then what happens when people stop watching? It's called WCW.
WCW.
Fighter, it's not
And
WCW.
this
But
is not. That's no.
You get my point, though, Ali. What happens when people
what I'm
stop
saying
watching?
is, apathy doesn't mean caring. It means you're tired of
it's
it
quite
and
frankly-
you don't care anymore.
It's quite the opposite.
All I'm saying is what they are saying is, or what they're saying is that people care so much about Daniel Bryan winning that they are prepared, or they say they're prepared, at least, to stop watching. They aren't actually prepared to do that. Most people that say, "I'm going to stop watching," don't stop watching.
But the problem with the match is just what it means later. Of just fucking
I think
Batista versus Randy Orton.
Yeah, exactly, Nathan. It's getting
People wanted
to a
D-Bry to
point.
win so that wouldn't happen. Like, I could understand the
getting to-
storyline, but at the same time, I don't want to watch Batista and Randy Orton wrestle. I think my
It's
want
getting
of
to a
not
point
watching
where
that
people-
is more than my want of a storyline to finish.
It's getting to a point, Nathan, where people are actually beginning to believe they'll never let Brian win. We'll never get what we want to see. And that's when people stop, and that is when people are going to stop watching.
That's the point of the story.
So
The
does the
point of the
storyline pay off?
story is
Does the
that
storyline
That
pay
doesn't
off
make
if
it
there's
a
not
good
watching?
story.
it means that when he does finally win, it's going to be all the more sweeter.
Well, if
If
it happens at
if they
Wrestle,
do it again to him at
if it-
WrestleMania, would it still count as the same thing for you?
Hmm?
If they did it again to him at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
what about then?
Well, they're not going to. He's not going to be involved in that.
He still
I don't think.
probably have a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be against Triple H.
Or Kane.
Okay.
Neither of which are exactly
Oh.
very good options, but
Triple H would be Triple H would be the mistake because that means then that means, and I mean, then there's a good chance people are going to be like, oh God, he's losing.
there have been rumors, although again rumors, you know how they are, that if the Triple H Daniel Bryan match happens, that Daniel Bryan may not actually go over.
Well, I'm sorry if Daniel Bryan, I still believe that if Daniel Bryan, if the Daniel Bryan match is not the main event, no matter what that match is, the fans are going to turn on it. Period.
I just don't want
He
to watch
needs to be
Batista
the-
versus Randy Orton. Is
it-
that
it-
is that? Eh.
Look, I agree with you. Batista versus Randy Orton is a horrible match. But I'm saying, from a booking standpoint, having the heel go over the face again is the right move.
No, it's not.
It is.
Not all.
Randy Orton should have won that match, and he did.
I didn't
Okay,
care that Randy
but-
Orton won the match. My problem is I'm just tired of the same ending.
You can't have the same ending to a match, or else people are just going to get sick and tired of it. They're not going to want to see it again because they don't have any faith that you're going
But
to
at the
actually
same
put
time,
Daniel Bryan
if
over
fucking
for it.
Daniel Bryan actually won, then it would be a very strange feud up until WrestleMania.
Yes. Which is why I thought that if Randy Orton didn't win, it should have been Cesaro.
But my problem is just I don't want to watch Batista and Randy Orton wrestle. I'm sorry, but this is a point I have to say over and over again. It's the worst thing in the world.
I know, but dude, the same thing was said last year about Rock Cena, and that made money. I don't think Randy Orton Batista's going to draw anywhere near as much as Rock Cena did.
How
But
would it even?
I think they're trying
can't
to
imagine it
recreate that
drawing.
with those two.
'Cause How
I
exactly
don't-
does it draw at this point? Because
Nathan,
Everybody's openly shitting on it. At least while
People
we
shut on The
didn't
Rock.
like The Rock, the crowd ate it up.
here's the
well,
thing,
the crowd ate up the
How- how
exactly ate up the hype
first
of the
time.
match.
They ate up the first time. The second time they didn't. I don't think they. I'm not even sure they were hyped. I'm not even sure they were hyped for the second time they did it. It was like definitely not as much as they were the first time.
Twice in a lifetime.
twice in a
Once is
lifetime.
always more special than twice.
You
Yes.
But
fool you fool
when
once, shame on you.
everybody-
You fool twice.
But if
Shame on them.
everybody, and I mean everybody, hates the idea, is it a good idea?
No,
I don't think so.
and I have to wonder. Legit,
I'm a very
how are they
simple
going to get a
man.
buy
I just
rate
don't
from
want-
this?
I'm a very
How do,
simple
how do
man,
you
and I hate
quantify
two
a buy
things.
rate when some of the views are coming from the WWE Network?
I'm a very simple man, and I hate three things. One, racists, like actual racists, not people who just joke about being racist. Two, Batista. And three, lawyers. No.
WrestleMania is always shit anyway, so
It's not.
It's not
It's
supposed
not
to
always
be shit.
bad.
It's always the over-commercialized, overhyped piece of crap that it always is.
But it shouldn't
He
be.
didn't
That's
do
There's
that
normally
way,
one, maybe two good matches at WrestleMania. The Undertaker match
Nathan,
is always great, and then
used
there's
to be that way.
sometimes a second match.
I don't want to get complacent with that idea of just like, oh, let's only have one good match and that's all we care about. It's an event, and the event shouldn't involve Batista.
It doesn't. Why is this? It doesn't make sense. Why has it been the past 4 years that they'll have a really hot angle during summer or summer, then fall. It starts to fall off, and then the Rumble comes on. Everything goes to shit, save maybe the Elimination Chamber and a few matches
WWE
here
wants
on
safety
TV.
over actually making sense.
It's like.
They don't want to do it. They don't want to take risks, which
WWE is not a wrestling company.
not anymore.
WWE
It's not.
is an entertainment company that uses wrestling as its focal point.
Really,
If somebody's white fucking hot with the crowd, is there anything wrong with using them properly?
Unfortunately, the problem with Daniel Bryan is that, first of all, he wouldn't look good on a WrestleMania poster.
he'd look great on a WrestleMania poster, but
He would to a wrestling fan, to an investor. No.
well, fuck investors then. What do they think?
This is the problem with it being a public traded company. You can't say fuck investors because they're the people that own your company.
They're the people invested in your company, but still.
They don't own the company, Nathan. What are you
They're
talking?
They still
invested in the
put money
company and
into.
do
They
supply
still
money,
put
but-
money into it.
I mean,
But at the same time, why did they put money into a company that they don't understand?
Because
They
nobody,
don't care.
because in the universe of business, what it is doesn't fucking matter. It's the numbers associated with it.
yes.
Yeah.
From a pure
No.
business standpoint, Daniel Bryan doesn't work. From an entertainment standpoint, he does. Which is the problem they have
Just-
with him.
Yeah, and then the pure numbers are gonna. I really don't know how WrestleMania 30 is gonna get any sort of buy rate.
It's gonna
I-
get a buy
Undertaker?
rate, but that doesn't mean it's automatically good. Just because something's on the top 40 doesn't mean it's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, look at the music. charts.
I'm not even talking about just if it's gonna.
I'm
be
just
good.
talking
it's like
popular
how
doesn't
it's
mean
gonna get a
good.
buy
Look at
rate.
Call of Duty. No.
Because I mean, given how many people are probably going to subscribe to the network, that cuts down quite a bit of money from just buying it as $60. And how do you guarantee that the people who have the network are actually watching 30?
Let me ask a question.
Well, Mega Fighter, all they have to do is basic math. They would take the amount of money they make.
Sorry.
They would take the amount of money they make from WWE Network and then divide it by the amount of people paying per month. There you go. That's how many people are using it.
Okay, so it's basically
it's
they have a
HBO
guaranteed-
style, pretty much.
Okay, so I was wondering on that. Okay, Rocktan, you had a question?
Yeah. This may seem rhetorical and dumb of me to ask, but I have to ask this because I don't, because of my ignorance. I don't know about stuff like this. Would WWE function as a company without the investors?
Not as well.
No.
Yeah, I don't even.
It's
I
it's
know.
too big
What's
to
that?
not be that kind of company, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't stay private forever, I guess, and that's.
Like,
See,
no,
investors don't
it's
just...
so big of a company compared to smaller indie companies that it's impossible for them to do it unless Vince McMahon was a billionaire, and he's only a millionaire, pretty much.
Yep.
Especially with all the... Imagine how many people work for WWE, you know? And how big those fucking
Sure.
contracts are, for at least for the top tier talent. That's a lot of fucking money. I need to look up WWE's net worth sometime.
This.
It just makes me sad that it really does make me sad that if investors and certain other behind the scene people that no one ever sees is the reason that we
TV writers
see
who
these-
don't understand how to write for wrestling.
if this is the reason we see a bad
Okay,
results that we
WWE is a
don't like.
$1.25 billion company. There we go. I looked it up.
Huh.
That's pretty
Needs to
good.
be that's pretty good. If it got to a point where it was much better, we might be able to say.
See, this is the problem. This is why they're
Also,
so.
their stocks doubled in the last year.
Yeah. And they actually had a 5% business increase.
Yeah,
business
it's
growth since last year.
complacency, too much success for things that
This
probably
is why
shouldn't have.
this is why they're taking it so carefully. It's because
I
they have
guess.
recognizable brands and names, but the problem with wrestling, as opposed to like Star Trek or something, is your brands and names, they do change over time.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep the recognizable faces, the recognizable brands relevant.
And the reason why is it's kind of like football. When you see a football player, you know he plays football. But to see a wrestler is a lot more difficult than seeing a football player. Because wrestlers are so different from each other. So, like, what people think of wrestlers, they have to keep that wrestler image, Like, even though the smaller, more technical guys are, like, magnitudes fucking better, that's not what people think when they think of wrestlers.
Everyone sees the big guy.
You have to change the definition of wrestler.
And WWE's never tried.
And they don't need to try. They've been successful. That's what they got successful with. Why just suddenly switch to, hey, Daniel Bryan, It sucks, but it's true, which makes me sad because that just makes me think that, they're a conglomerate instead of like passionate. But
I think someone like a Cesaro, that's big and strong while still being technical is what is. They need a guy like that. Maybe that's what pushes them forward. Possibly.
The thing is, and this is a way the business works. Your biggest thing is the first thing you rely on, and you know what the biggest thing is? John Cena's, Randy Orton's, Batista's. If they weren't there, then they would go to Cesaro and folks. But they are there, and they'll keep using them until they're gone. Pretty much.
Just that's always been kind of a problem in wrestling. The reliance on the people who have always been on top.
Why do you think they're only just changing Call of Duty once the sales go down when they released Call of Duties every fucking year? It only just started to dip, and they're finally fucking changing something about it. They don't change something if it's successful. They change something if it stops being successful. That's how business works.
Yeah.
By the way, this is coming from a big fucking Daniel Bryan fan, by the way. So.
Exactly. I mean, I'm huge. I've got a Daniel Bryan T-shirt.
Which one?
I have the grey one with with respect to beard on it.
Oh, okay. Not the Che Guevara one.
No.
I think this is all. I mean,
I like how this went from a review to like a philosophical debate.
This may
discussion on the business world and shit.
This may be a little bit of stretch, but I don't think too much. It's kind of like what's happened to the video game industry in a way. Like the people who invest in the industry are pushing like these big companies to do business a certain way. And as long as people are buying into it.
Imagine there was only one big video game company, though.
Yeah.
There
It'd be about the same.
Top. Just EA, really.
Just EA.
It was smaller. It was EA, and then the guy, like the really indie guys, like the guys who make Super Meat Boy and stuff like that.
Just imagine it being EA and then everyone else.
That's pretty much it.
It's just everyone goes behind EA because EA's EA. Why would you invest in the small time business? When you have fucking EA.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense to
They have
invest in
something like-
it doesn't make sense to invest in like Phil Fish compared to all of EA. You know,
exactly.
And then you have something like Team Bondi, which will be the TNA of this world. Let's just say,
well,
where
Uh,
they can't even put on a good
they
show.
didn't get that
and
many
you've got
investments.
and then you've got Telltale, which is Chikara.
Yeah, let's just go with this.
Fuck
We'll
it,
figure this
we're
out.
going this route. And Japan is Atlas.
People who are
and,
to the 5 people who watch us, submit what you think is the game company, wrestling company parallels.
whichever one's Atlas, I'm behind.
Let's figure this out together, folks.
But
But
it's sad,
I
but
think
it's kind of true.
It's what really bothers me about this is that is the sense it's getting to a point where they've done it so often, and
If you want to get really abstract,
they're sticking to the Batista Orton thing so hardline, even though it's clear that the crowd is against it, that the crowd wants Bryan, that you start to think they must know what they're doing at this point. They know they're pissing off the crowd, but they don't care.
at this point, they've kind of just
they
made their bed and
they
have to
bought
lay
their
it.
tickets already. They got their ratings. Whatever happens afterward doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Which is shitty, but that's also
TV rates have been. The thing is, Rocktan, TV rates have been going up for WWE.
Yeah, the ratings are going up, and the buy
WWE
rates.
is
If you want to
growing
get
in
really
business.
abstract, imagine John Cena and Batista are Call of Duty. And then imagine everything they're the biggest success. What would they want? More John Cena's and Batistas. Because it's also successful. Even if
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not
look
as
at all of
successful.
exactly. Look at all of the Call of Duty clones that there were when Modern Warfare first came out.
It was popular and people wanted to ride that popularity. Even their own company rode that popularity. That's why they had
Exactly.
2 different studios making Call of Duty at the same time. People wanted Call of Duty, people got Call of Duty, even though it wasn't good.
Exactly.
And the only way for this to change is if they stopped selling altogether.
Mm.
So, everybody listening, stop giving a shit about John Cena.
Exactly.
And stop giving a shit about Batista. I know that's not exactly a
It's
challenge,
not hard,
but do
but
it.
go ahead.
Wait. People give a shit about Batista?
There has to be at least one person.
Jesus.
And whoever you are, you stop
Well-
it right now.
Actually, I fear more if the crowd doesn't give a shit during the Batista Orton match, because then that's when we get another goal. We've always talked about this match being the next Goldberg or Lesnar. That's not going to happen unless the crowd gives so less of a shit that the wrestlers decide. The wrestlers say, "Fuck it," the crowd isn't going
There's
to
another thing
give
about...
us a shit. That we're not going to give a shit either. That's
Here-
when it happens.
Here's another thing. Popularity isn't based on quality, it's based on momentum. And it's just if the quality goes down, but the momentum is still high, things will still go up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, if it's a big shift, it'll continue to shift even if you stop giving a shit. And the momentum will still keep going until finally people come to their senses and go, "Hey, this is kind of shit."
Yeah, I would still say
It took
though
Call
that
of Duty 8 years for the popularity to start to decline again.
yeah.
That's
See,
a lot of
I would-
momentum.
Yeah, I would say though that the reason why they grew in business this year wasn't because of the bringing back of Batista or any shit like that. It was because their mid card grew.
It
There
could
was
be, but
more of a there was more of a reason to keep watching the show when you turned the channel over to it.
yeah.
It wasn't a case of okay, there's this big bit and then I'm leaving. It was a case of
No,
okay,
a closer example than the video game company is the relationship between UFC and everyone else. It's UFC's the thing. Everything else is just something else that no one cares about. But it's UFC.
Everything else is just some sort of MMA.
Yeah, but UFC's UFC. So
Yes, UFC
is
to
MMA.
Bellator.
Everyone
So we
else
have
is
the
kind of there.
fun fact. UFC is in fact UFC.
Well, a lot of people don't say wrestling; they say WWE.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
A
it's
lot of people
synonymous
don't
with wrestling to the point of
A lot of people don't say MMA; they say UFC.
yeah. That's because it's so big that that's the first thing you think of. And when you think
Exactly.
wrestler, you think John Cena. Not
Think
unless
Hulk Hogan.
unless you do not Hulk Hogan, John Cena, The Rock. Even
Yeah.
though if you knew wrestling a lot better, you'd be thinking Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Or if you remembered watching back that far and you remembered enjoying it, things like Jake the Snake, Randy Savage.
Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, there are good things within it, but it's not the first thing you think of if you just get into it. It's weird. It's hard to explain.
It's funny. I don't remember looking back at when I got into wrestling. I don't think I reacted to Hulk Hogan as much as I did to Jake the Snake, to Undertaker.
Yeah, but Hulk Hogan was still the popular one, so
yeah.
he
To
was
Brutus the
popular.
Barber Beefcake, to Undertaker, to Ultimate Warrior, to Mr. Perfect.
Even to Bret Hart. I mean, he's a classic example of a guy that's like Daniel Bryan, and that he was
A
the
guy
technical
that was
wrestler that
great
everyone
and
was
deserved
behind.
all the recognition he got, but still just wasn't able to overcome the stereotype of wrestlers like Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's kind of a weird
And-
status
and-
quo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, one thing about Bret Hart is he may have not been as big in terms of muscular, but he was at least the same size as the big guys.
But he wasn't. No, he was
Generally-
never, because he didn't fit that body type though. Because he never was that look. People who don't
He
know
doesn't
wrestling
look
don't know
like
Bret
what people
Hart.
think wrestlers look like, pretty much.
People who have never seen wrestling, they do know who Hulk Hogan is. But they
Yeah.
don't know who Bret Hart is.
Even though they should know who Bret Hart is.
Exactly. But I think that we may have exhausted this particular topic of conversation.
But
I don't want to have this.
well, there was a lot to talk about, but
Yes.
it's just the thing that we're saying is pretty much. I don't think things are going to change unless something causes it to change. John Cena spontaneously combusting. That's
Someone in in the comments of this of the results is suggesting that the only way you change this is no one reacts at all. You literally stop reacting. That no reaction at all. Turn off the TV.
go make a sandwich, not watch it.
I'm pretty much. I think my
The
WrestleMania 30 is going to be
audience,
spent
the
on the
live
network
audience-
watching anything else.
The live audience doesn't react. No boos, no cheers. Just don't do anything.
Dead silence.
If you want to buy a ticket, don't. If you want to watch it, don't. If you want to react, don't.
Exactly. Because having a reaction is not
Means
healthy.
you're invested at least somewhat.
Exactly. It that's why I
Okay.
think when people say, "Oh, I'm not watching this anymore," people misinterpret that as I care so much that it hurts, and I'm going to try and lash out at you. You know?
Yeah, if they're gonna purposely book everything to spike what the fans want, why continue to watch it? And
Well, the
fork
weird
over
thing
money
is,
while-
Rocktan, there's a lot of vocal fans, but there's a lot more people who just don't care. It's
Yeah.
sad, but
But-
sadly
yeah,
the IWC is still not as big as we think we are. When it comes to
but
smarts,
yeah,
I mean.
you shouldn't be watching it and forking over money while moaning about it.
Pretty much. If you don't want to support something, don't fucking support it.
That's exactly why I right now, unless they fix unless they fix WrestleMania 30 and give us
It's kind of
a
too late.
proper
Everything's
date.
set in stone.
They can still change it. It's WWE. They can change plans. They can
Change
find a
the
way.
drop of a hat in wrestling, but
They can put Daniel Bryan in a match with Taker. They could find a way to throw him into the title match at Mania. They could do something.
Hey, worst comes to worst, they could just have Batista wrestle Bryan and Bryan beat him for the shot. But
Yeah.
honestly, that would be lazier booking than what they're doing now.
And that's pretty lazy. No.
What they're doing right now is pretty fucking lazy.
It may be lazy, Nathan, but the fans would at least would that the fans would want. That's what the fans want at this point. It may be lazy, but the fans don't care. Don't care about that laziness as long as Bryan is going to be there. They don't care. I think the fans don't care how Bryan gets into Mania. They just want him there.
Yeah.
And not like what happened with the 18 seconds thing. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, nothing's going to change anytime soon. So,
Yeah.
with that, this was the C Show.
This was Depressing C Show.
I'm
You don't
all
matter.
sad now.
Nobody loves you.
This is
I'm
I'm
going to
just
die
gonna go
in the
back
end.
to. I'm gonna
Batista's
go get some
going
Ben
to
and
win
Jerry's
anyway.
and watch.
This is
This is-
Roxanne saying I finished my ice cream and unfortunately, so now I'm depressed. I have
Why
I
don't
have
you
nothing
eat all
to
of your ice
save
cream
my
now?
depression anymore.
Get more ice cream.
The solution is more
Yeah,
ice
more
cream.
ice-
The solution is more ice cream.
I'm just gonna get some ice cream and watch.
Honestly, I do want to
WrestleMania.
remain an optimist, even though it's hard.
Yes,
just
well, I do. I prefer to look at the good, which is why I.
Right, and this was a good pay-per-view, but
It was a good pay-per-view. I suggest watching it. It's just
watch it.
don't get too
And just
sad about
pretend
the
that the
ending.
ending-
You
even
could
though it's
even
good.
watch it just for the Shield Wyatt
If-
match.
If Brian isn't, if Brian, I will say this: if you don't like what they're doing to Daniel Bryan, do not buy do not buy WWE Network because just I'm sorry.
If
Just
you say
Well,
you don't,
look, I've already done it, so
you say you
I'm
don't
not. I'm
care.
not buying the.
If you say
I'm
you
not
don't
buying
care,
the WWE Network just because I can't
What-
afford it. But yeah.
if you say you don't care,
mean, like-
please actually not care.
it's a sense of why should I buy your network that shows how great your past was if you're not going to show me a good future to look forward to.
That is a
But
legitimate
they're
issue.
showing
But
NXT.
as long as the big guys are there and remain there, there's not going to be a difference.
Yes, but yes, that's it. Goodbye. Fuck off.
I love you.